I grew up watching National Geographic and they get all these action shots. It's really exciting. And that is not what wildlife research is about. It is about patience, going out there day after day after day and seeing nothing, nothing, nothing. It's almost like CSI or something. You just can't stop.
Of all the wildlife in North America, mountain lions have had one of the biggest comebacks. They were nearly hunted out of existence, but now populations have surged to as many as 30,000 cats spread across the country. Not that you'd know it.
They're these creatures that you hear about all the time, but because they're so rarely seen, at some point you kind of wonder if you're ever going to see one or if they really even exist.
Much of her work is like chasing ghosts, and it might seem maddening to an outsider. But the thought of a cougar hiding just over the next ridge or behind a snow-covered log, that pushes Lauren even deeper into her work.
I'm a PhD student at the University of Washington in the School of Environmental and Forest Sciences. And I am studying wolf-cougar interactions. So we're trying to understand in Washington how the return of wolves might affect cougar behavior and how those interactions might be shaped by a landscape that has a lot of human activity. One of the things I really like about cougars is that they really are so hard to observe. So, if you're studying birds, every single day you can go out and you can see a bird of some sort or another if you want to. And that's just not true about cougars. Okay.
Learning exactly where these sneaky cats go provides clues into how they interact with the ecosystems, prey, predators, and humans they share territory with.
Today we were trying to find a cougar that currently has a collar. These collars allow us to track the movements of these animals without having to get too close to them once the collar's on. And it allows us to see how they use the landscape. It can let us look at those things in relation to human activities such as development, roads, and so forth. When you actually are listening to an animal's signal, you'll get the steady beep, like a heartbeat.
While the beep offers Lauren a clue to the cougar's whereabouts, the chase is just beginning. Adult cougars have a range of 50 to 150 miles in diameter and can cover over 30 miles in a day, often through rough, wild terrain. But over the years, Lauren has sharpened her instinct to find their favorite places.
When you go to enough of these sites, you start to get a little bit of an eye for where a cougar may have chosen a place to sleep or where they may have chosen a place to eat. Some cougars, they really, really like areas near the river. I get stung a lot by wasps as a result of that. 23 times this summer, to be specific. Cats in general, whether it's a cougar or a bobcat or a house cat, they like places that they can hide if they need to. And so it's interesting to see this animal just kind of move across that open space really quickly. She's definitely up there. So to figure out, if you get high enough, there are some trees that are still alive, but most of it's pretty burned. There are two marks, so there's like a smaller one and a larger one. And it looks like there was kind of a short chase that looped around and ended right over there. You're trying to look at the evidence that's left, tracks or scat or tufts of hair, and figure out where they went. I quite literally follow cougars around in their territories all day, and I've only ever seen a cougar one time that wasn't associated with work. Biologists are famous for saying, oh, I'm just gonna go down this a little ways. I'm just gonna walk down this track a little ways. They'll leave their truck running or their door open or something, and they're gone for like 2 hours because you just can't, it's so exciting, you just can't stop.
Cougars are so adaptable they can live almost anywhere they find prey, like deer. That means they're increasingly moving into our territory, and humans are moving into wildland that used to be exclusively theirs. In many places, wherever you see a deer, forests, prairies, neighborhoods, cougars could be close by. With so much overlap comes the possibility for misunderstanding and conflict.
There's this energy and this desire to understand them, but then there's also a lot of fear. You know, some of it completely valid, some of it misplaced. For me, I think it's really important for people to understand the reality of living near cougars. And the reality is that they're here, and whether you see them or you don't see them, part of our responsibility living in these landscapes is to set up a scenario that's best for everyone.